This week on Taste Utah, we're being educated on the art and science of bread. Liquid bread, that is. It may come as a surprise, but local craftsmen and artisans have been putting Utah's craft beer community on the map for decades. Over the years, we've visited brew pubs all over the state, from the first brewery in Utah, Wasatch Brew Pub up in Park City, to Squatters, Moab Brewery, Avenues Proper, and Roosters on historic 25th Street, along with their B Street Brewery in Ogden. This week, we're revisiting Red Rock, Vernal Brewing Company, and Zion Brew Pub, where the food is equally as craveable and meticulously crafted as the beer itself. And we're introducing you to Strap Tank Brewing in Springville. They hold the title as the first and second brewery in Utah County, and they're paying homage to their traditional roadside diner by celebrating their namesake, the original Harley-Davidson, by offering delicious food and finely crafted beer. Taste Utah is always bringing you local flavors, from seeds to our authentically Utah restaurants. Behind every good food story is a great people story. It's our farmers, artisans, chefs, restaurateurs, and hospitality professionals that make Utah a dining destination. Food is a necessity, and it's how we cultivate it, share it, and experience it together that truly creates our unique community. You always have a seat at this table. Are you ready to taste Utah? At Red Rock Brewing, we learned the beer making process, much like bread, is simple. It begins with 4 basic ingredients that, when treated with patience, care, and chemistry, much like cooking, become a kind of alchemy, a combination of science and art that creates nuance and develops rich and unique flavor in every beer they brew.
It's a simple thing. Making beer is super simple. It really is. I mean, every beer that we have or make here is only made with 4 things. You know, it's a real purity thing. It's just water, hops, yeast, and malt, and that's it. That's all that's in a beer. If I'm gonna make a beer, you know, the grain comes in and it comes in different colors called levibons. And so what they do is they take the kernel out, or the seed out of the field. They put it in these big malting facilities. They hydrate it, and it starts to grow, and a little rootlet starts coming out of the piece of grain. What we're basically doing is they're trying to grow this piece of grain up because it's trying to shoot out, and we're going to stop that growing process, and we're going to harvest that starch that's inside of that grain and use that as a fermentable sugar chain. So this is all down the process. What they do is, it depends on what color. Only color of beer only comes from grain. It doesn't come from hops, doesn't come from alcohol, doesn't come from anything. It only comes from grain. So it goes to like Pilsner color, and it goes all the way up to like stouts. And this is where you add all the hops. And that's for the aromatic and bittering potential in beers. Most of the bittering all comes from hops in beers. Big IPAs, like our double IPA, the El Fino, it's our biggest. It's like 50% of our bottle sales at the big brewery. And it's massively huge hoppy, big aromatic, big tangerine-y, grapefruity, zesty, riney aromas, and that all comes from the hops.
The adherence to quality may begin with a beer, but carries through to their culinary offerings and the intentional service, care, and community they're crafting as well.
We have a scratch kitchen. Everything we make in-house from scratch, all the way from our sauces to our soups to downtown. We make some of our breads. We make all of our desserts in-house, so everything you taste was made here. We have people in the Red Rock organization that are very passionate, not only about food and beer, but about our brand. Kevin, when he makes our beer, he doesn't let a batch go out that's not ready. If we run out of beer, we run out of beer. It's that attention to detail that I think has really kept us in the game for so long. I mean, because there are so many options, you know, especially out here in Kimball Junction. I mean, it is exploding. So for us, you know, it's important to stay on top of service, and that we're getting seasonal foods in and serving them seasonally, and that we're, you know, just here for people.
At Vernal Brewing Company, or VBC, it's all about being a destination. We're just about as far east as you can get in Utah and near popular tourist attraction Dinosaur National Monument. The VBC has been a welcome destination for the weary traveler or local to pull up a seat at any table, enjoy a nice, cool, and freshly brewed beer, and food from an ingredient-driven kitchen with greens sourced directly from their very own garden.
55-foot-long beds outside that are everything that we use in the summertime that's a fresh vegetable came straight from out there. So when creating Vernal Brewing Company, we decided to make it something that the entire community could be proud of and make it a true destination for our visitors, our tourists, because we have thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that come to Vernal just for Dinosaur National Monument. We don't care if you're in your work boots or if you're in your finest dress. We want you to be here and enjoy your time.
And just like the Vernal Brewing Company's farm-to-fork dining style, the grain-to-glass method is what they're all about at the brewery. And they're putting Vernal on the map with the many festivals they attend and awards they garner. They want people to know Vernal doesn't have to be a drive-through spot. There's lots to do, including the VBC, as its own unique dining destination.
We have a lot of success. The places we go for our festivals and everything like that, we get a really good response. And people are really excited about our beer in Utah. People are really amazed. They're going, oh, I've been to Vernal, but you guys weren't there. It's like, wow, this is there now. They're talking about, oh, we're going to get back to Vernal. And like I said, and during the summer, it's a really good vacation area for all the outdoor activities, rafting, fishing, you know. There's all kinds of outdoor activities to do around here, especially during the summertime.
What we love about our unique landscape in Utah is how it invites us to stop, stay a while, and breathe it all in. That's exactly what the team at Zion Brewery is offering. Lots of beer options on draft that present a unique opportunity to perfect the science of beer making, as well as food that satisfies the biggest appetites. Because let's be real, when you're in the Narrows or hiking to the top of Angel's Landing, nothing tastes better than pulling up a bit of patio and enjoying delicious, authentically Utah food and beverages.
The brewery's been around for about 14 years, and that kind of spawned the brew pub. You are drinking a juicy IPA.
Beautiful.
It's a hazy. And then I've got our most popular beer, the Zion Pale Ale.
Yeah.
It's kind of a West Coast style,
Nice.
a little piney. All beers on draft in Utah are 5%, and we stick to that. The brewery is working overtime to keep us full.
Your brews are all over the state, which is really cool. And you also have like a tap room in St. George, right?
Yeah, we do. The station, it was an old fire station. It's called Station 2.
Okay.
They converted the fire station into a bar. It's like the first freestanding bar in St. George where you don't have to order food. You can come in. They've got pool tables. They've got shuffleboard. It's really nice location.
It's cool.
Too.
It's got kind of a sweet little vibe going on there. It just seems like you're having a lot of fun here at Zion Brewery.
Yeah, I love it. My crew is phenomenal. We change the menu up every so often, and then we get our meat too from Kanab Meats, and they're locally farmed. We have an elk burger on the menu that's phenomenal with kind of a Utah flair. It's got fry sauce on it.
Oh, we love it.
Gotta have the fry sauce.
Yeah, what's in your fry sauce?
I can't tell you.
No, okay. So there's not. So we know there's ketchup. I'm always curious because I have chefs that say, you know, Katy, when you are cooking in a region, you have to embrace like what that region is known for. And so instead of fighting against the fry sauce, most chefs, from very elevated and sophisticated chefs down to fast food chefs, are like, how do we put our spin on the fry sauce?
Right, just embrace it.
Yeah. Exactly. What is your favorite thing about working here, about being here?
If it's not my staff, it's the guests. Everybody's on vacation, they're chill, they just want to come in, sit down, enjoy the view, have a beer, they're not in a hurry. It's just, you know, it's got to be that.
We're in Springville, and you have been asking for years. Katy, you have got to go to Strap Tank Brewery. They are the first brewery in Utah County. They're serving amazing food. Their beers are so cool. The entire space is just fantastic. They're named after the first Harley-Davidson motorcycle ever. So, of course, Your wish is my command. Hi, Chef.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm so excited to learn all of the glorious things that Strap Tank Brewing is doing in Springville.
Yes, absolutely. They're waiting for you right back there.
Okay, cool. And then I'll see you at the table.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, lead the way, sir.
Let's go.
Hi. How's it going?
Good.
So I've caught you at the tail end of the cycle. Is that correct?
Yeah, so
Okay.
right now Carter's just getting ready to clean one of our fermenters. So what he's doing right now is he just has a brink hooked up with some clean, warm water. He's
Okay.
gonna rinse it a couple of times. He's gonna add some chemical to it. And we're gonna recirculate it to break down all that organic material that was developed when the yeast was fermenting out the wort.
Okay, great. So hit it.
Yeah,
Okay.
fire it up, Carter.
A brewing cycle, this is basically the last step to start to brew again.
So we start over on this side with our mash tun and lauter tun.
Okay.
So that's where all the grain is mixed with hot water. And we just let it rest in there for a good amount of time so we get all the starches that are in the grain converted into sugars.
Okay.
When that stage is all finished, what we do is we recirculate it to clean it up. Then we send it into our vessel that's on the left with the open hatch.
Yeah.
That is our brew kettle. That's
Okay.
where the wort is actually boiled. That's where we add our first wort addition or like our 60-minute, 80-minute, whatever
hops.
whatever timeline we're boiling.
What is a word addition?
The first wort addition would be as soon as the wort hits that brew kettle, the very first small amount, we add our hops for our bittering addition. So by adding it there, we get a little bit of aromatics, some special flavors and aromatics from these hops that we can't get anywhere else.
For people who maybe don't drink beer but hear these things often, like hops or like a hoppy beer, or talk to us a little bit about or bitter, all of these different terminologies.
Okay, so with beer, like let's say an IPA or a session IPA.
Okay.
So IPAs are known to be quite bitter.
Okay.
So we do what's a bittering addition. So the longer these hops are boiled, the more bitter they're going to be.
Okay.
Then if we want more flavor and aromatics from the hops, we'll add them towards the end of the boil. So we'll
Okay.
get way less bitterness, or IBUs, International Bitterness Unit. We'll add a lot of hops in Whirlpool, so we get just all the beautiful nose aromatics.
And then from the kettle, does it go into one of these bad
Yes, it
boys?
does.
Okay.
So from the kettle, we can't send 200-degree wort into one of these tanks. That'll kill the yeast immediately. So what we do is we set it through our heat exchanger right there. It's it's the big old block. And what we'll do is we'll send like city water and a little bit of propylene glycol through to cool the wort down to whatever temperature we need. So we'll cool it down, send it over to our tank, add our yeast, let the yeast do its thing. As soon as the yeast is all done, depending on what beer we're making again, we can dry hop the beer. Dry hopping is just adding dry hops directly through our small ports on the top of these tanks,
Okay.
which will not add any bitterness at all.
Okay.
And it'll add all those beautiful aromatics that we want.
This vat has beer in it. I can tell because it's gassing, which
This is Julie's coffee blonde. So after this is done fermenting, she's going to add cold brew coffee to it. So yeah, it's going to be really awesome. We will then add some CO2 pressure to the tank and close it off.
Okay.
And then we will do what's called crashing. So we can't clarify the beer at this temperature. We want to drop everything out and clarify it. And what we do is we crash. So initially we'll crash it at like 58 degrees, so then we can harvest our yeast off the bottom here and use it into another beer. And then we'll send it into one of our bright tanks and we'll carbonate it.
At Strap Tank, you do bottle some beers, but for the most part, it's all about
Draft.
draft.
Yes. So we have a handful of bottles. We have a bottled Saison that we do periodically, a bottled 7% IPA that we like to change up the hops every time we do it, just so it kind of stays fresh and new, keep everybody excited. And
Which is fun for you two, as I imagine, right? Because you are the head brewer at the Lehigh location.
So I oversee both projects. I'm a brewmaster, if you would.
Brewmaster
And
extraordinaire.
Julie is the head brewer here at the Springville location.
Okay.
So she takes care of absolutely everything here. She does all the recipe development. She runs the whole show here. Everything.
Very
So,
cool. Are you the first brewery in Utah County?
We're the first and second breweries in Utah County.
Well, that's a big deal. Congratulations.
Yeah, so this original facility opened up in June 2016. The Lehigh facility opened up in August of 2019.
That's so awesome. What do both of you love about brewing beer?
I mean, I like to cook. making beer is just like cooking. So it's, I get to mess around with all these different flavors and ingredients. The beer world is always changing. There's always new hops being developed, different programs, different malts are being made. Like there's a lot of different things. So you're constantly changing. That's what I like about it. It's always different. Like I always get to make something new. I'm excited about coming to work. Julie she does a lot more crazy things than I do.
Yeah, and it's rare to see a female brewer, which is so cool, laying it down for the ladies. What do you love about it? How long have you been brewing?
So I actually have been working here at Strap Tank since day one.
Awesome.
Started as an assistant brewer or brewery assistant and then worked my way up. But I'm the same. I love the creativity. I love being able to create something. And I think my favorite part is watching people enjoy it. That's always fun.
Special. And it's like a chef, right? You watch to see if the glass comes back completely empty.
Yeah.
Every time. We're always looking.
Have you been with Strap Tank since the beginning of this?
I've been with Strap Tank since September of 2019. Before that, I was brewing over at Squatters and Wasatch.
Oh, nice.
And then before that, I was at Uinta.
What's the one beer that you're like, you have to try this. This is my signature. I'm so proud of it.
Julie makes some amazing sours, like her fruited sours. Like people come here specifically for them.
That's very cool.
So, and she switches it up all the time. She comes up with these crazy ideas, and they just fly. Like,
yeah, that's my favorite to brew. So yeah, I'd say definitely try the sours.
Yeah, and the sours, like there's such a nuance to them. So that's really cool.
Then each year, Julie crushes it when we do the Pink Boots beers.
Okay.
All the females in the brewing industry, they always get together and have this like special hop blend of all these different hops that they crush together and blend up, and that's what she does. Well, each year, instead of just doing one, Julie pumps out like 1, 2, 3, sometimes even 4.
Nice.
So we'll have like 3 or 4 on draft like for the whole month of March. They're always awesome. Like every single one of them, just beat the next. It's great.
Well, I've had such just an enjoyable experience. Maybe I'll head to the table, meet up with Chef, hear more about the history of Strap Tank. And just thank you so much. Thanks for all you do, your knowledge, and for just being genuinely awesome people.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Chef, this is amazing. I mean, it was really cool to chat with Derek and Julie about just the painstaking efforts they go to make extraordinary beer. And it looks like the food does not disappoint.
With these guys and their beer, I can speak nothing but the highest of accolades to them. They put all their hard work and heart and soul into it.
It's so awesome. I mean, the whole facility is really, really cool. What's the backstory with Strap Tank? It's a motorcycle?
Yeah, so it originally starts off, we have a replica right here. It's a 1907 Strap Tank motorcycle by Harley Davidson.
Okay.
It's kind of the original motorcycle that really kind of set the American motorcycle.
That is so cool. Will you tell us what we have in front of us? What are the dishes you've prepared?
Right here you got your beer battered fish and chips with our French fries.
So good.
Tartar sauce, lemon wedge. This is our absolute #1 seller, 7 years running almost. It's made with our beer that we brew right here in-house.
Can't go wrong with that.
Absolutely not. This is our very most popular sandwich, our prime rib dip. Thin sliced prime rib, Swiss cheese on a hoagie roll. I mean, it's really brilliant in its simplicity.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't need to overcomplicate anything that has prime rib around it, right? Because that cut speaks for itself.
And of course, in front of me, it's our Wasatch Meats, certified Angus, 16 to 18 ounce bone-in ribeye.
Wow. And your namesake is the first quintessential American motorcycle. You constantly have to be mixing things up. You constantly have to be resetting the bar over and over and over.
Yeah, absolutely. Always setting a higher standard and trying to go above that every single time.
You're the first brewery in Utah County.
In the last 110 years, since before Prohibition.
Isn't that extraordinary?
That is, and really we're hoping to make a good impact on the community here.
Yeah.
Because any breweries moving forward in Utah County, it's all eyes on us.
That's so awesome.
If we set a good standard, hopefully we can get to see these kind of things coming into our communities.
And now this area that Strap Tank is located in, it seems like it's a very cute, kind of kitschy vibe. You have the Legends Motorcycle Museum, which is right across the way.
Absolutely.
And you were saying that that's where the original
Harley-Davidson Strap Tank is located?
Absolutely. We've got 3 of them there, each of them one of a kind, a police issue.
Wow.
The very first police issue Harley-Davidson. We have a 1905, the only one in existence on this planet that we know of. And then we got the original 1907, which is the most original, non-touch, just beautiful piece that is out there. I don't think anybody on the planet has anything, like, it's all original.
Well, this has just been such an extraordinary conversation, and I would love to pop back in the kitchen with you, and you have some new dishes that you want to show off?
I would love to.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, chef, so what are you going to make for us?
All right, today is a brand new item. I'm calling them the V-Twin Rib Bites.
V-Twin Rib Bites.
Absolutely. So I season them with our in-house barbecue seasoning that we make here. After I've marinated them for about 24 hours in a brine that we make in-house as well.
Okay.
After that, they hit that oven low and slow for a minimum of 3.5 hours. Fall off the bone is our goal. Let's get these out of the oven.
I can hear them. They're popping, they're cracking.
Yep, getting them good and hot, ready to rock and roll.
Love it.
So first things first, dredge. No flour, your batter's not gonna stick.
Okay.
And then our batter right here.
Flour batter and then into the
Just straight right into the fryer.
And then what do you serve these with?
So these are gonna be coming with mustard barbecue sauce. It's a new sauce coming up on our menu as well. It's our classic Texas style barbecue sauce that basically I just add a little bit of mustard into. Because with the corn dog batter, with the ribs, you want your ribs to be paired with your barbecue sauce. You want that corn dog batter paired with your mustard. And
I like it. I think it's so clever. Chef, this has just been such an enjoyable experience. I love how Strap Tank is leading the way in brewing and pub food and just really creating a beautiful ambiance and synergy. Everything you're doing here is just so fun and so welcoming and so inviting. I'm gonna go take these, I'm gonna enjoy them and maybe, I don't know, have a beer.
all right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chef.